The dab. We all know it, your mum knows it, by this stage your gran probably knows it. It's got totally out of hand, but how the fuck did it get to this? On the 10th of October 2016, a South African Premier League reserve fixture between the Free State Stars and the Platinum Stars became the talk of the footballing world. But this wasn't due to a result, a display of unique skill, or even a goal. No, this was because two Free State players felt it acceptable to hold the ball up and openly dab in the middle of a match. The internet subsequently went into meltdown, with many in the football world citing it as the peak of modern football and the death of the beautiful game as we know it. But how did it all get to this in the first place, where a novelty pose has become so influential and commonplace that you can't avoid it in the stands, on the streets, and even now, on the pitch? The dab. How the fuck did it come to this? To get to the origins of the so-called dab, we need to head to the United States, Atlanta, Georgia to be precise, the southern city famous for peaches, Coca-Cola, and the home of trap music. And it's the latter where this story begins. But first things first, the name. Like the founder of the move itself, credit for the term dab is disputed, but is generally understood to come from weed culture. Of all people, it was actually Bow Wow who took to the internet to try and explain the history of the term dab.
First of all, dab is a strong way to smoke marijuana, right? It's the purest form of marijuana. It's extremely strong. So the dance comes from when you smoke and you cough, and the first thing you do is that's where the dab came from.
But instantly, his claims were rejected by multiple factions of the Atlanta trap scene, such as this video response from trap artist Jose Guapo.
That's not the definition style movement. Don't try to break something down when you don't know what you're talking about.
Another critic of Bow Wow's comments came from trap crew Migos, ATL locals who were one of the biggest stars on the scene, who released their own explanation in a music video in November 2015.
It wasn't even called dab. We didn't even know it was called dab. Y'all just called it the dab. We just needed just to drop on the beat. You know what I'm saying?
Shortly after that explanation, Migos released their video for Bitch Dab, with all the trap elements and customized dab signage. Due to all of this, many viewed Migos as the creators of the dab. However, a bit of digging reveals that a whole year earlier, the same move can clearly be seen in the music video How Fast by Skipper Da Flipper, another ATL trap star from the exact same music label. But remember Jose Guapo? A whole year earlier than Skipper, he can be seen dabbing, albeit briefly, in his own video for Fuck the Rap Game. Perhaps that's why he was so quick to respond to Bow Wow's claim.
We don't know what made Bow Wow wake up and do that.
But even amongst all of this, how does the dab make its way from block parties in the Deep South to the pitches of Rotterdam, Melbourne, and Seoul? On September 13, 2015, Jeremy Hill, a running back for the Cincinnati Bengals, celebrated his touchdown with the very first sports-orientated dab. From there, the floodgates opened. Fellow Bengals star Carlos Dunlap, star quarterback Cam Newton, the Lakers' D'Angelo Russell with a double dab, Virginia Tech's coach, and then LeBron James. And this is probably the best explanation of how the move made its way across the Atlantic, with self-confessed basketball fan Paul Pogba taking on the celebration for his goal against Carpi in December 2015. From there, Pogba's mate and fellow basketball lover Lukaku took over the reins when he scored for Everton. Then, things went apeshit. It didn't matter the fixture, the league, the division or the country. Everywhere you looked in football, a dab was occurring. In fact, in the past 12 months, the dab has reached absolute saturation point, with such lows as Lingard and Man United's cringeworthy Dab University and Wembley's Dab Camp. With the move seeping into every facet of the game, you could almost be excused for thinking the whole sport was just an excuse to pre-plan cringeworthy dab routines.
I threw up.
Which is probably how we got to what happened in South Africa. Is this craze ever going to end, or will Pogba's contractual obligations mean we're going to be dealing with it for the foreseeable future? Where the move goes from here, who knows, but hopefully it's away from the game.